What's it like cruising in the South Pacific on an open 66 with a 4.5 metre draft and a toddler and dog on board? Come with us and let's find out. For those of you that are new to our channel, we've made it to Vanuatu.
Oh, that was scared of Solo.
And after clearing into Tanna Island to check out the active volcano Mount Yasur, we enjoyed some of the benefits of cruising in an ex-race boat when we reached our top speed of 17.5 knots on our sail up to the country's capital, Port Vila, on the island of Efate. Surfing down waves on passages like this have to be one of our main reasons for choosing an open 60 for our cruising home. So as a cruiser, what's the first thing you do when you arrive into a city, after having a cold beer of course? You check out the hardware shops and ship chandleries. This was a pretty dramatic contrast from the remote villages we'd visited on the last island, only 250 miles away. An important part of cruising is being self-sufficient. This means not only having the skills and creativity to find solutions to any problems that arise mid-passage or in remote islands.
I already stitch inside all material. In the end we got to do some reinforcing dark. Watch how many stitch I already do it all inside. I got to rebuild the sail.
But it also means having on board spare parts. And if you're like us, cruising on a pretty severe budget, getting the quantity of these spare parts right is a fine art.
Really nice. Spare. How much? It's nice. How much? How much?
Daddy wants that one. Do you want that one?
Yeah.
It's heavy.
They want it. They want it.
This one?
This one. Yeah.
Well done.
We find a valve for ballast.
Wow, Nemo, it's the same size as you.
We've still got some jobs left from the refit which we didn't have time to finish, such as reinstating some water ballast tanks, which we still need to buy the valves for.
But this one is the perfect size. We have to extend with the carbon fiber the lever. You wanna try?
Another important thing for us was to finally import our dog Solo so that he could stretch his legs after more than a month on board. Now we're going to see if we can let Solo free.
I really like the container area. Guys, we're looking for a new container. We think we want to stabilize here in Vanuatu and put the boat on the air stand. No, it's okay.
Some of you might remember that we became pretty familiar with containers back in Fiji when we decided to use one as part of our cyclone strategy to sit NV on top of and for Timo to build his workshop inside.
This is the job like we do it in Fiji. Height professional. Boat 4.20 meter draft, seat in 2 cradle.
Making this seating for the boat was a pretty big job. If you didn't see these earlier videos yet, don't forget to check them out. I'll put the links in the description. But back to Solo. Like is often the case with bureaucratic things in these small island countries, it can often take a while to find the right person to talk to.
Morning.
But once we did, the process for importing Solo was pretty smooth and much easier than expected.
They're very nice in Vanuatu. They are very kind, very friendly. Not everybody, but some.
Where are you going, Solo?
Where are you going, Solo?
You're free, Solo, you're free!
Vanuatu imported dog. The first month on board with no shore. Right.
Your first new country, Solo. Your first holiday.
The fastest sailing dog in the world.
Yeah. Meet Solo, the fastest sailing dog. All we had to do was show Solo's export papers, let the vet give him a quick check and hand over €150, and in return we received an official document stating that Solo had officially been imported. Solo is our first dog, and we were originally just fostering him during our time in Fiji from the local animal shelter, but of course we got too attached. And despite knowing the potential issues he would bring for our future cruising itinerary, we couldn't say goodbye. Wow! We used the opportunity of being in a town to take Timo to the dentist.
Hey, I have 160 below 2 stoof. It's a chronic infection.
And they removed the...
No, it's He wanna remove, but they don't give the permission to do that. Why?
Why don't you let him remove it?
Because it's one job taking months.
So he won't remove it now? No.
No, I have to remove, cure the jam, drill, making the burn, the pin.
Well, maybe this is a job for Indonesia then, but Bali's a tooth place, I think.
No, we got to do with the epoxy with the carbon fiber.
And we took Solo to the vet to prepare his exit papers in case we didn't manage to coordinate with the only vet on one of the northern islands where we'd clear out from.
So we just took Solo here, and they were super helpful, very knowledgeable.
There is a lot of good stuff and pharmacy for the dog and cat and pet. We suggest to anybody, if you come in Vanuatu, this is the doctor.
Yeah. These are the taxis or buses.
Go to the big supermarket. Stay down, you. Down.
Spending time in big cities or towns for us is usually more out of necessity than choice. They're places where we can restock provisions, find tools to get some jobs done, services to help us with things we need like refueling, filling up our gas and water tanks. And in this case, we even managed to service our life raft. If you didn't see it, don't forget to watch our last video where we went along for this service and gained some potentially life-saving tips. Alongside the fresh local produce, our Italian captain was particularly delighted by the selection of meats and cheeses available here. Perhaps something to do with the French influence, as Vanuatu was colonised by both the British and the French in the 18th century. In this capital, we were also pleasantly surprised to find a marina with all the facilities you could wish for as a cruiser.
Andrew's in charge of the lovely marina here.
Hello.
Which you said you and your dad built it.
Well, I helped my dad a long time ago in 1978, and we've been here ever since, looking after the yachts that are cruising the Pacific. There's 17 dock berths.
Wow, nice.
And then we have 37 swing moorings in the harbour.
Great.
And we can cater from anything from 28 foot up to 70 feet. The depth at low tide through the channel's probably about 5 or 6 metres. On the other side, we've got that clearance.
Yeah.
There are two entrances to this marina. The northern entrance is more shallow and has an overhead wire, so we went through the southern route through this narrow gap.
And is this one. It's very skinny for MV.
For the fuel, we've got a clearance of probably 2 metres at low tide and maybe sort of 3.8 to 4 at high tide. We have showers, we can do your washing and folding. We have the wonderful waterfront bar and grill restaurant where we serve the best steaks in town, which we buy the export quality from the abattoir. The cattle's bred in Santo here, one of the islands.
Nice.
And I get fresh fish and lobster most days, and whenever we do, so we've got fresh fish and lobster and a great feed.
Awesome.
And most importantly, very cold beer.
Great, cool, thank you, Andrew. And for yachts, this is probably the easiest port of call when
Well,
you
it
clear in.
certainly is, and we find a lot come in and then they'll cruise for the islands, of which there's 83 in Vanuatu. It's a pretty nice place to cruise, and they tend to come back here, particularly if they're sailing to Australia, because they get a straight run to Mackay or Bundaberg from here.
Yeah, cool.
So it is the probably the premier port of call for
yeah.
Vanuatu if you're coming here, but it's a beautiful country with beautiful people. And I've been involved with this country for a long time, and I would recommend it for sure.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, we've really enjoyed it here.
Fantastic. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks very much.
We can throw our waste oil in their container.
They've got
So we
everything
have
here.
Yeah.
Who's over there?
Daddy.
Who's over there?
Daddy.
Daddy? Who's with Daddy?
Dai, ci beviamo una birretta.
Another benefit of being in a major port is that it makes crew changes easier. One of our favourite things about this style of life is being able to share it with a multinational crew. It doesn't matter what kind of prior sailing experience they have or don't have. As long as they're willing to learn, we're happy to have others aboard and to be able to share our passion for sailing with them. Our next stop is a bay called Pele, about 35 miles away. With all new anchorages, it's important for us to arrive with good daylight, especially when there are reefy areas around, so we always try to leave early. Stay tuned to see how our new crew survived their first week aboard. And as always, a great big thank you to our Patreon and Coffee supporters. If you're interested in joining up, we'll put the links in the description. The other great thing about cruising in Vanuatu is we were almost always cruising in company with lovely cruising friends we met. As you may have guessed, food is another important part of our lifestyle.
Tomato hot dog cow heart. Wait, cazzo. No, it's not finished. It's not finished. Okay. Oh, questo. Wait. Brad Pitt.
So we were in Italy and we were looking for the train. And we're asking everyone, train, where's the train? No, not English. Train, you know, train. Toot, 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 toot. Oh, traino! Yes, train.
But on the contrary, I was flying to New Zealand for the first time in my life, and I was on the plane and they gave me the immigration paper, right? And I wouldn't have a pen. So I go to the woman on the side of me, sorry, can I borrow your pen? Sorry? Your pen. Pin. You wouldn't understand pen. You wouldn't understand
We start from
Woman.
a woman. It's all woman. The center because the bread is less.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
Okay,
it's more light. Yes, but keep the bottom skinny. Come on. That's just for a skinny bottom. Okay, now you have or not?
No, I need a skinny bottom.
Skinny bottom, yeah. Tu e Nemo, vai. Phil, where is Phil? Okay, you don't wanna.
Oh, you want a skinny bottom?
Yes, a
Okay. Skinny bottom, vai. Okay, now me I take one woman please because we have. Ah no, the kids.
You see any? No. It's underwater, isn't it, normally? Yeah, Stingray's also underwater, yeah.